Hey guys, what's up? I am back, and we just finished round one, day one of the NFL draft. Seahawks took offensive lineman, likely playing left guard, could also play center. Gray Zabel out of North Dakota State at 18 overall, did not trade back. Weren't too many trades in the first round. But I'm going to hop in here and we are going to do my ideal versus predictive for the remainder of the draft. So we'll start out with my ideal here. Going to try to do it a little quicker here because it is midnight and I want to go to bed. And I do have a job interview tomorrow. So at pick 50 here, we are sitting on the board. And for my ideal, we addressed offensive line. So I'm feeling good. We addressed left guard. I think we can go with a fun pick here in Savone Revel to play boundary corner for us. Doesn't even really have to start year one because we have Job and Woolen. Just could kind of get back into football shape and take over the next season after this one. And now on the board, we have Alec Iomaner. And getting a big-bodied wide receiver for the future is somewhere I am looking at. Alec Iomaner is fun. Could also look. Mason Taylor is still on the board here. And, I do think Mason Taylor is a bit more of a need at that tight end position over wide receiver. So Mason Taylor is an interesting spot here. I am going to go with Mason Taylor here at pick 52 over Alec Iomaner just because I think it's a slightly bigger need. Now, sitting here, we have Ozzy Trapilo on the board. Look, I don't know what Abe Lucas's health is going to look like long term. We are going to need a franchise right tackle going forward. Ozzy Trapilo is that. I think he's the best pure right tackle in this class. Could also look at, Milam or someone to get on the interior, but I don't know if we will take another interior offensive lineman in day two. Terrence Ferguson we don't need because we just took Mason Taylor. So Jordan Phillips is fun here. Here I think is where I'm going to go with a wide receiver in Savion Williams. Savion Williams is really fun. Another big-bodied guy. A much lower floor than Alec Iomaner, but I think he has a higher ceiling. And at worst, I do think he's a fun gadget guy for Kubiak. I'm going to take Savion Williams there. And then at pick 92, we still have Ozzy Trapilo on the board. And here's where I'm going to take that future franchise right tackle. I was leaning Jamari Caldwell at 92, but Ozzy being here is just such amazing value. I'm going to take Ozzy Trapilo here at pick 92. Now we are on the board at pick 137. Now, we've addressed quite a bit on the offensive side of the ball. Could go Brashard Smith is someone that I've really been loving here. But I don't know if I want to take running back here. We could look at a slight trade back with the Jets, which might be something I'm considering. If we could throw in that. But let's see. That's not worth it. I don't want to do that. So maybe we move up from 234 to 207 just to move back slightly. I think we're going to do that. Just get a little trade back. And we're sitting here and we still do have some good options on the board. You know what? I am going to go with Brashard Smith. I think getting a really good running back 3 or 4, it seems likely that Ken Walker is going to be traded. That's what everyone is saying. So getting Brashard Smith here is actually a good idea in the early 5th. Now on the board at 172, Craig Woodson is fun. We could double dip at corner, but Malachi Moore being here is just best player available. He's a really good safety. I would take him late 3rd, early 4th, honestly. He's really good value here, and we do need a 3rd safety on this roster. I am going to go with Malachi Moore here at 172. And now is where I could probably look at nose tackle. Deontay Walker I don't like. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to go with nose tackle right here. I could look at linebacker, see what we got. And you know what? Cody Simon being here, I take him all the time, but I got to take him again. Dude, getting a backup linebacker with this, like, he has really solid starting upside. I think he's a really good pick here. I think he would be a good pick at 137. I've taken him there quite a few times. Cody Simon is just the best pick here, I think. We need a linebacker, a backup. Drake Thomas is our only backup linebacker. Cody Simon just makes sense, you know. I don't need to focus on these points because I feel like I do kind of the same thing in every mock, so I don't have to just talk about it over and over. Now, sitting on the board here at 207, here is where I might take, you know, Jake Majors is fun. I just think he's a little too undersized for me. Let's see what we have. You know what? Zeke Biggers is on the board. He's a really fun nose tackle. He is. I do think he plays nose in a 3-4. I think he's I do think he would work out for us, and maybe we dip into a UDFA nose and then we are good. I want to take Zeke Biggers here at 207 to be hopefully our starting nose tackle. If that doesn't work out, that's all right. Now we're on the board at 223. Last pick here, many ways I can go. I could take another corner. Could look at guard or tackle. I could go with another wide receiver. I think I'm probably going to lean guard. And someone I have gone with a lot is Garrett Dellinger. He has a lot of starting experience. So if he is here in the 7th, then that is great value. But Luke Newman is someone I also really like. Just not maybe so much for our scheme, but he is someone I do like, and I would take a flyer on late here. But Garrett Dellinger is going to be my pick here to be our backup left guard. It looks like Zabel is going to play left guard and not center, which I'm perfectly fine with. Get that backup behind him, and we are good. So we did trade up back, and we were able to move up from the 7th to the 6th and get Zeke Biggers. Big fan of that. Even bigger fan of Zeke Biggers. So I'm going to save that. And now we are going to do the predictive mock draft. Hold up, I might sneeze. Woo! Okay, let's hop right in here. Start it. And we are sitting here at our pick. Look, I don't know if John is going to address offensive line in day 2. I don't think he will at all. I think now we're going to go pure BPA. And what is that going to look like? I don't know. Sitting here, Xavier Watts might be BPA for us. I don't know. Honestly, I'm looking at Braden Swinson as potentially being best player available for us. If he is on the board at 50, I think he could be. Is Travion Henderson? He's not on the board. You know what? Mason Taylor, if he's here, this is probably the route I'm going to go. We met with him, and I really don't think he's going to be here. But if he is here, we have to go with him at pick 50. I think this is the easy grab if he is here. I'm going to take Mason Taylor there. And now Braden Swinson is on the board, and this is predictive. So I think we're going to love Braden Swinson just for his pass rush win rate. I think he really helps, and he could, develop a little bit. We don't need him to play year 1. So I feel good about Braden Swinson at 52. Wouldn't be my favorite pick for sure, but I would feel good about it at 52. And I think it does seem like we are targeting edge quite a bit. Now at pick 82, we are sitting here. This might be where I address a nose tackle position. Let's see. Could also go with a receiver, but I don't know if we're going to do that. I think you know what? I think Jamari Caldwell might be my pick here. We released Cam Young, so we're making it clear we know that we need a nose tackle. And Jamari Caldwell gets us that nose tackle. to start, which I would feel very, very good about if we got Jamari Caldwell. Let's get him right here at pick 82. Now at 92, I do think we're going to target cornerback heavily. So let's look at cornerback here. Wow. Okay. Noel Williams is off the board. That is where I was going to go if Noel Williams was here. Let's see where he went. Noel Williams went at 87. That is rough. I'm not going to take Dorian Strong. If Noel Williams was here, I was going to take him at 92 to be corner. But we could get another member of the secondary in Lathan Ransom. I just don't know how well he fits Mike's scheme. I think Makuba is much more versatile, so he could work here. I think you could look at Jonas Sanker potentially as a pick here, because we do need that third safety. I'm also going to look at wide receiver. Look, with who's on the board here, I might go with Torrey Horton here at 92, just to be a really solid wide receiver 2 or 3 on this team. I think he's fun. You know what? I am going to go with Jonas Sanker, though. We need a third safety. Jonas Sanker provides that really big body guy. He is a good tackler. I like him. Jonas Sanker at 92, and I don't think I've ever taken him there before. Now on the board at 137. Here's where we could look at wide receiver, and you know what? Pat Bryant is fun. He's big. He's a big-bodied outside receiver, which is someone that I've been looking for, someone that I think we would look at. And Pat Bryant is going to be a good player here to be our potential big-bodied receiver going forward. I don't think he has what it takes to be a wide receiver 1 in this league, but he could be a good 3. I like Pat Bryant there at 137. Now, if Quinn Ewers is on the board at 172, I did this before. I'm going to do it again. Quinn Ewers is just probably best player available for John. I really think he is. I'm going to go with Quinn Ewers. Just seems like the type of guy that John would like. And I think he might view him as good value there just because purely on his arm. Now on the board at 175. Now here, I think Brandon Crenshaw Dixon could be an option. He is a good swing tackle, and we lost Stone Forsythe. So you could look at him as just a solid backup to get onto your team in case Abe Lucas goes down. Tight end is another option. You know what? Yeah, I am going to go with Brandon Crenshaw Dixon here at 175 to be our backup swing tackle. And now at 223, I might dip on the interior, but I'm probably going to look at cornerback. What do we have here? Shamari Simmons is fun, but he's probably a pure slot guy. Jabbar Muhammad doesn't have good feet. BJ Adams is actually really good sized. If Pete Carroll doesn't take him, I'll take him, bro. I will take him. BJ Adams, if he is on the board, that is great value. Mac McWilliams is also great value here. I think Fentrell Cypress is probably a likely candidate here. He's just a solid depth piece. Yeah, we didn't take a corner, and we probably need to take 2. I'm going to take Fentrell Cypress here at 223. And then on the board here, we could go running back. Could go defensive line again. Could go with cornerback again. Looking at wide receiver, there's no one here I love. I think running back is an option. It does seem like we could trade K9 or Charbonnet. So, you know what? I am going to go with a running back here. And, if LaQuint Allen is on the board, I think he's a fun option. Whoops. I think LaQuint Allen is a fun option if we were to trade Charbonnet. I think he could be a good replacement. But it does seem like we're leaning towards trading K9, which I don't know. Who would I go with here? Maybe Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt if we're trading K9. You know, I think maybe Jaquindon Jackson I like a lot. Montreal Johnson is fun. I might go with Corey Kiner here, you know. I think he is, out of everyone on the board, he would be the best K9 replacement. I'm going to go with Corey Kiner here if we were to trade K9. And that is going to do it. Shorter video just because it is later and I want to go to bed. So, but that's good. That means you guys won't have to watch as long of a video. So that is going to do it. This is my predictive mock draft for the rest of the draft after taking Gray Zabel. And this is my ideal right here. All right, guys. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Well, later today for day 2 of the draft. See y'all later.